At the end of last year, I seen a thing on social media which was a family raising funds for their young son who needed a cochlear implant and they had to go private. I've spoken to them vaguely between now and then, but today for the first time I'm going to go visit their son as well as their family, find out their story and see how Hugo is getting on. The reason it stuck with me for so long is because it was a cochlear implant because he was hard of hearing, and what 90% of our viewers probably don't know is I wear hearing aids. So today we meet Hugo and we meet his family and we're taking you with us.
So when Hugo was born, he failed his newborn hear screening test, which, to be honest, we didn't really think much about because they told us it was quite common, especially with kids that have been born via C-section.
Yeah, they say that the fluid can still be in the ear, etc. So we didn't think anything of it.
So we were referred, and within the first couple of weeks, he went back for another test, which he passed in one ear and failed in another, so he wasn't fully signed off. And from there he just sort of continued to have different tests. He had different blood tests just to try and rule out anything more sinister than just failing a just a bit of mucus and a bit of congestion. And it wasn't until we were referred up to Guy's and St Thomas's in London that he actually was showing signs of his hearing getting worse. And they fitted him with hearing aids from
13 weeks.
13
weeks, yeah. So we've got two older children who born hearing fine. So obviously it was a complete and massive shock to us.
Did it change your lives?
Oh, massively.
I think one of the biggest things as well is that no one prepares you for that eventuality. No one sits down with you when you're pregnant. We've got two other children that are in completely good health, can hear, can see. No one prepares you or sits you down and says, just so there is a chance that your unborn child could be born blind, could be born deaf. They test for any deficiencies with the brain. They look if they've got any, a cleft palate. They do a Down syndrome test. And all these things were getting ticked off, and it was all okay. Everything looked fine. And obviously he was then diagnosed as deaf, and it was a bit of a shock, not going to lie. But we, as Jackie said, we kind of just had to get on with it and do what was right for him.
So he got fitted with the hearing aids at 13 weeks.
Yeah.
And obviously we had to keep going back for more testing because they wasn't sure, is his hearing keep getting worse or is it not? What response is he getting from the hearing aids? What sort of sounds? And as time was going on, we could see actually these don't seem to be working as much as what they was portrayed that they should be working. And this is when they turned around and they said, oh, actually, we think he could be eligible for cochlear implants, which again was another massive shock to us because now you're talking about surgery, major surgery for a young child. So we then had to go through again all the tests for him. To then find out whether yes they're going to go ahead and do this, and we got to the pretty much near enough to the very end.
Yeah.
And then they just turned around and said, "Looks like he's out of the guidelines."
So when they told you, what was the reasons for not going ahead with the implant?
In his right ear, he couldn't hear anything. You could put an air horn next to him and it wouldn't wake him up. It would do nothing. In his left ear, they tested him on 2 different frequencies, and he was just above the threshold at one frequency. And basically meant that he wasn't deaf enough.
As a parent, you want to do whatever you can for your child to give them access to sound, and we was just absolutely heartbroken. The stress it caused us, as if to say, well, what we can do? Who's going to now help us? One minute they're helping us, leading us to believe, yeah, this is the way we're going with Hugo, and then you kind of get to near enough to the end of the finish line, and it's like, well, actually, no, our hands are tied. You need both ears to be the same. So all of a sudden, then we came out and I was like, right, we're going to have to go private.
When you looked into going private, how much did that cost?
For 1 ear, which we was most adamant about having done, which was the right ear, was going to be 56,000. So, which is obviously a hell of a lot of money.
And then for 2 ears, it was 82.
Yeah, for 2 ears, but our main aim was just to get 1 ear done. As long as we could get 1 ear done, that's all that mattered. I spoke to my mum and she was like, right, okay, let's get a fundraising page up. I done it straight away, and I went out for dinner that night and like a food tasting thing. Anyway, started talking to a local restaurant owner. I used to own a restaurant, and I was telling him about my story and about Hugo, and he said, I think it's terrible that we can't help our own, etc. And I've never experienced anything like it. He just got out of his pocket and he just went, take it. This whole wad of money just went, just take it. And I was so stunned and shocked that someone could do that. And it was so important as well that Hugo had to have this done before his first birthday. So we didn't have much time into getting it done, but it was like, what a great kickstart and how lovely someone can be. It didn't matter to them, they wanted to help somebody. So yeah, so I just wanted to tell that story because I love that story.
No, and you know, we were again just overwhelmed with the support that we got from everywhere. You know, anyone and everyone. You know, £5 here, £10 here. You know, there's a couple of people that we know were donating a couple of £100 and things like that. And the money started going up. You know, so again, as you said, we had that real glimmer of hope to think, you know, we're not in this alone. Number one, everyone's rooting for us, and we will get there. We had all the
fundraising pots ready to go. I spoke to all the shops; they were all ready. Like, let's get it in.
It was a real community spirit.
We called it. My mum's next door neighbour, he works for a printing company. They helped to donate, and they designed a logo for us, which was Ears for Hugo, which had the cochlear implant on. So it all looked professional, and it had his story as well, so people knew what they was donating and putting their money towards.
And I run the marathon in a moment of madness as well.
Yeah, you ran the marathon, and then we went up for more testing up in London, and they had brought the head audiologist in, and we thought, oh, here we go again, you know, going for it all. And she just turned around and she was like, his hearing had deteriorated a bit more. And then she started flicking through his folder, and she was like, I've noticed here that when he was born, in one of his hearing tests, one of his ears, which was his left ear, had actually passed. So she was like, hang on a second, I think something's going on here, like it's carried on getting worse. So it passed and it's carried on getting worse. She then asked us if we'd got our blood results back from the genetics, and we was like, no. She said, I'll tell you what, chase it, because I think we could have a case here. So we...
Sorry to stop, bearing in mind that his case had already been heard and was rejected.
Okay.
It had effectively been thrown out, and as a...
So you almost have to appeal to get it?
Yeah.
Well, it was an appeal process.
So Aaron, you called her up, didn't you? And you spoke to her and you said, right, this is the results. And she was then...
That was on Tuesday.
Yeah, she was sat... So bear in mind, this is all happening... We're getting really close to Christmas now as well, so we're trying to do all our Christmas shopping, and we're thinking, oh, hang on, we could have a bit of hope here.
Yeah. And then she called us back the Thursday before Christmas and said to us, look, you know, we've sat down, we've discussed it with the team.
With the surgeons.
They're happy to perform the operation. You know, do you want to do it? And
are you happy for it to be both ears?
And she said, do you need to speak to your wife? I said, no, I can tell the answer now. The answer's yes.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, that was probably the best Christmas present.
Yeah, it was the best Christmas present, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then, so fast forward, after Christmas, they phoned us and said, right, here's your date. You're going on the 31st of January, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
So within the space of 6 weeks, we were looking at a bill for 56 grand to our son having the operation to allow him to hear.
Our first switch on, the audiologist kept saying to us, don't expect to see anything, don't expect anything to happen, and I kept saying to Aaron, if I don't see anything,
don't expect
then
the
to me
videos.
It's not working.
Basically, don't expect the YouTube videos that you're used to watching of kids getting turned on and this big bright smile, and never ever forget this all the time. I'm alive, but they turned it on and they knocked on the desk, and within a split second he looked, and that for me was just the biggest relief. She said to know that we'd made the right decision and that it worked as well. Because you take little things like that for granted. Simple things like the tap running, or you lay in bed and the shower's dripping where know, it's not been turned off properly, or the beep on the microphone. All these little things were brand new to him.
Yeah.
And you know, he's still.
And it's just a screaming.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, he's still learning things now.
See, when we found out, I meant to add in as well, when we found out our good news and that, the first thing we done, because obviously we'd already received loads of donations, the first thing we done is we offered everybody their money back, because they wanted to help us, and that's the least we could have done. And we couldn't believe it. Everyone was like, no, keep it towards Hugo, keep it towards private speech and language, which we're going to do for him. Anything that he needs extra wise at home to help with the hearing, use that money and buy it. And we were still like, are you sure? Thank you so much, you know. So again, that was another big extra Christmas present for us.
And he was actually switched on 2 days.
Before his first
birthday.
Yeah. So we was like, at his big celebration. So we had a big celebration at a restaurant around the corner. And it was a celebration of Hugo is now 1 and he's hearing, you know, and he again adapted so well. We had all these people and drinks and everything like that, and it just didn't bother him. No. He wasn't fussed by it.
No,
but no, he's doing amazing now.
Yeah. We've had a stressful time, but you've got your happy memory now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, gosh, definitely.
And I think he's well, he'll be 2 in March. I think it'll be time for me to put him on the season ticket waiting list.
That was perfect. Before one more thing. At Hammer's Chow, we just got something little for Hugo.
Brilliant.
Oh,
thank
you. Just to say thank you very much for having us round and letting us.
He should really be here
to receive it.
To open it, shouldn't he? Oh wow, a new kit.
Oh.
Excellent. Look, Hugo.
Oh, look.
Hugo, look.
Hugo. Hugo. What's this?
Hugo, look.
Look.
Oh, and Hattie as well.
Oh.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
No, that's all right. No, it's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's the story of Hugo and his family, and it just frustrated me and some other people from Hamish Chat that as a platform we weren't able to help out a little bit more. We're not the biggest West Ham YouTube channel, we're not the biggest West Ham forum, but we've got a platform and we just weren't able to help him. So next season we're creating something called Making Memories, which is a new series and possibly our most ambitious project to date. We're going to try and give 5 West Ham fans a memory, a light in what is possibly a great time for them, just like Aaron and Jackie had with Hugo earlier this season. But you can get involved with us if you want by checking out the links below. There's links for a few different things to do with Making Memories below in the description, so do come along and join us. But anyway, thank you for joining us on this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Drop a like on it if you can, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and until the next time, we'll keep making memories.